type in the BCCN number. Search.
All right, good morning, everyone. I am Judge Jackie Powell. This is first appearance court. Today I'll let you know if I've determined probable cause based on the police reports that I've read, and then we will also be able to talk about release conditions. Today is not your trial date, and so I encourage you not to say anything about your case on the record because everything in this courtroom is being recorded and can be used against you at a later time. Please make sure that you speak with your attorney before saying anything on the record, okay? In the courtroom, I do have with me the attorney, one attorney from the Public Defender's Office, and over at the main jail, there's another attorney from the Public Defender's Office. At the other facilities, these attorneys are available to you by phone. For those of you represented by private counsel, your attorney will come to the courtroom, and we will be able to address your case from here. If your attorney is not here, you can let me know and we will see how we can accommodate you through that process. Also, please note that we have the attorney from the state attorney's office also in the courtroom, and pretrial supervision, confinement status will join us shortly, and I have the clerk of courts. And all these persons will be here to make sure that if there's any information that's needed additionally, that it'll be available, all right? I will call everyone individually. For those of you, some of you with misdemeanor cases, you may be, or the municipal ordinance violations, you may be able to resolve those here today, depending on what's going on with you. We cannot resolve felony matters here. There cannot be any changes on violation of probations here where your division judge has entered no bond holds and such. Okay, so we will begin this morning with,
Judge, there is one case that the main jail is asking to have called out of turn.
okay, what case is that?
On page 17, Mr. Webster Pratt.
That is correct, Judge. Mr. Webster Pratt, come on up, please. He's approaching, Judge, and he declined to serve as the public defender. He informed me that he's going to be hiring Clement Dean.
All right, Mr. Pratt, you are before the court today. Charge one is delivering
I think it's more the possession,
possession of an altered firearm. Is it altered?
the serial number, Your Honor.
Okay, and then carrying a concealed weapon. Those are the charges, okay? And the court finds probable cause. And sir, you've indicated you are going to hire an attorney, Mr. Clement Dean, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And is there anything that you wish to say in regards to setting your bond?
Actually, I do have the money, but I don't have the money, but no, I don't.
All right, does Mr. Pratt State have any criminal history?
He does, Your Honor. He pled out a trespass from last year. One moment. So he went through that's the most recent prior.
Okay,
That's us.
all right. All right, Mr. Pratt, you
I'm
have
sorry, it was a resisting without violence. I apologize, Your Honor. Not a
Okay.
trespass.
That's all that's in his criminal history?
Recently, he has other stuff, but it's dated, nothing firearm related.
Okay. All right, Mr. Pratt, you have $1,000 bond, okay?
Your Honor,
Yes.
the only other release condition I'd request is no firearms until further order of the court.
And, Mr. Pratt, no possession of any weapons or firearms until you've been ordered otherwise by the court, okay?
All right.
All right, sir, good luck. All right. Guadamiz Guaga?
Judge, she is here present
It's,
at Maine.
yeah.
However, she's going to require a Spanish interpreter. I believe my colleague already contacted.
Okay,
Yes, Judge, the Spanish interpreter is on the way.
all right. Marceline Mondalos?
She is here present, Judge, and she's a present. Come on up, man. And she declined the services of public defender, Judge.
Okay. All right, ma'am, you are before the court this morning for failing to redeliver a hired vehicle. and I find probable cause. Are you hiring private counsel to represent you? Ma'am, are you hearing me?
Yeah,
Okay. Do you plan on hiring a private attorney?
no,
Okay. Are you going to represent yourself?
yeah,
Okay. So you are before the court for failing to return a rented vehicle. That's a charge. Does Ms. Mondelez have any prior criminal history?
I don't see anything, Your Honor. Your Honor, and I don't know if the court could possibly inquire. I see she's employed by Broward Public Schools. I don't know if the court could possibly inquire if she still is. The
Ma'am,
rea-
ma'am, are you employed?
yeah,
And where do you work?
boy, public school.
Okay,
Your Honor, based on her current employment and no priors, I have no objection to an ROR if the court is inclined.
all right. So ma'am, I'll grant an ROR at this time. That means that you don't have to pay a monetary bond. But you need to make sure that you pay attention to the court records because now you don't have an attorney. So it's going to be on you to make sure you know if and when you have to come back to court. You understand that?
Yes,
Okay, all right. Alexandria Green,
Ms. Green is in North Broward, Your Honor.
all right, good morning, Miss Green.
good morning, Your Honor.
I believe this is a change of charge.
Yes,
You were
Judge.
before the court before on a battery on a officer, and now it's changed to resisting with violence.
Yes, Judge. The bond was originally set at $1,500. Ms. Green's been arraigned, and she also has a felony VOP hold. State would just be requesting that the $1,500 bond be placed back on this offense.
That's fine, Judge. I spoke with Ms. Green's attorney, Sean Clayton,
Okay.
before court this morning, and he is aware of the situation, so he'll be making arrangements to get Ms. Green in front of her division judge as soon as possible.
Okay, so $1,500. Good luck, ma'am.
Thank you, have a great day.
You too. Tevin Williams,
Conti, Your Honor,
all right.
he went to courtroom 5150 this morning.
All right, so this is an out-of-state felony hold. That's the only thing here, and it's a no bond hold. So I'll find probable cause, and that he'll be able to get to extradition court shortly, okay? Jacob Filsame,
Your present judge at Maine, and he declined the service of the public defender. He's going to be hiring his own attorney.
all right? So Mr. Filsame, is that correct? You will be hiring private counsel?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you are before the court today for charge one is robbery by sudden snatching without a firearm or weapon. Number two is grand theft auto, and number three is battery causing bodily harm, dating violence. And I find probable causes to these charges. Does Mr. Filsame has prior criminal history?
It's okay. Michelle, do you have anything by any chance? He wasn't on our system, Your Honor, so we have to check the pretrial.
Okay.
Ooh, wait, hold on a second. Just give me 1 second. Let me handle this case.
I'm sorry, he has a 2018 what?
Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting a $5,000 bond on one, $2,500 bond on three, and an order of no victim contact.
All right, based on the allegations in the probable cause affidavit, I will impose a $5,000 on one. The grand theft auto will remain at $1,000, and then on count three, it'll be $2,500 Sir, you are to have no contact with the alleged victim in this case. That means no phone calls, no text messages, no social media, no third-party contact. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, okay. All right, Wallner Augustine.
He's here present, approaching judge at Maine. Come on up, sir.
All right, Mr. Augustine is before the court this morning. Charge one is kidnapping. Number two is sexual battery on a victim 18 years or older. Number three is domestic battery by strangulation. Number four is a traffic kepius. Number five is a felony violation of probation with a hold out of Miami-Dade County. I find probable cause as to these charges.
Your Honor, the state would be seeking a no bond hold on count one upon a finding of proof evident or presumption great for first appearance purposes only. Your Honor, relying upon the arrest warrant affidavit from Detective Metz of the Broward County Sheriff's Office. Your Honor, I can address counts 2 and 3 now, or if you want me to wait till you make a ruling on one, whichever the court prefers.
You can go to 2 and 3.
Thank you, Your Honor. On count 2, the state's going to be requesting a $100,000 bond. On count 3, a $50,000 bond, obviously in order of no victim contact. Your Honor, I would advise the court, Mr. Augustine was arrested twice last year for domestic violence battery by strangulation against the same alleged victim. In each instance, the charges were dropped.
Okay?
Your Honor, in light of the fact that Mr. Augustine currently has a no bond hold for a violation of probation, we would defer any argument regarding proof evident presumption grade until such time as he can appear in front of his division judge.
And Judge, in reference to counts 2 and 3, I know the state is requesting $150,000. My understanding is Mr. Augustine, unfortunately, is financially indigent at this time. He's homeless. He does not have any, he doesn't live with the alleged victim. He works when he can for a labor pool company. He's been here his whole life. But I'd also ask you to take that into consideration to determine reasonable release conditions for Mr. Augustine.
Well, based on these allegations, the fact that he does not live with the victim, and if these allegations are true, that did not deter him from being in contact with her. These allegations are that she's at work, that she goes out to dump garbage as part of her job at night when she was grabbed and thrown in a car and taken to another location, and there was a sexual assault.
And Your Honor, and I apologize, I just want to bring to the court's attention, on at least one of the prior strangulation arrests, the allegations are again that he confronted her outside of her place of work.
Okay, all right, so there is great cause for concern at this time. As to count one, I will make a preliminary finding of proof evident presumption great. Mr. Augustine will be held no bond as to that count until further ordered by another judge, his division judge, if he has a bond hearing before that judge. And then as to count 2, I will impose the $100,000 bond. And number 3, there'll be a $50,000 bond. No victim contact. And if Mr. Augustine does post his bond, he will be on a level 1 pretrial supervision.
Nothing? That's this.
Okay. All right, let's go now to German Ortiz Moreno.
North Broward.
Mr. Moreno is before the court. Charges 1 and 2 are touch or strike, battery, domestic. Number 3 is assault, domestic. Number 4 is assault, domestic. And number 5 is tampering in misdemeanor proceeding. And I find probable cause for those charges.
Your Honor, I see no criminal history for Mr. Ortiz Moreno. The state would be requesting bonds in the following amounts: $1,000 on 1, $1,000 on 2, $250 on 3 and 4 each, and $1,000 on 5, in order of no victim contact.
Your Honor, unfortunately, Mr. Ortiz Moreno is not in a financial situation to post a monetary bond. He has been a resident of Florida for the last 15 years. He's been living at the same location for the last 4 years with his fiancee. He can find a place to stay that would not involve him having any contact with her until further order of a court. He is working, Judge. He's been an instrument technician in operating rooms for the last 23 years. For the last 5 months, he's been working for the Cleveland Clinic. And as the state pointed out, he has no prior criminal history. I would be asking the court to consider pretrial release with an understanding that he have no contact with his fiancee. I would point out that in the probable cause affidavit, the victim did not have any visible marks or injuries, did not wish to provide a recorded statement, and it appears that they were both standing in the driveway when the police arrived. So it appears as though the incident had kind of already calmed down by the time the police arrived. There was no violence when the police arrived. So I'd ask the court to consider pretrial release for Mr. Ortiz Moreno.
All right, I am going to impose $1,000 on 1, ROR on 2, 3 and 4, he's got $250. And number 5, he has $1,000 bond. No victim contact until further order of the court. Okay?
Good luck, Mr. Ortiz Moreno.
Thank you.
Our Spanish interpreter is present, Your Honor.
All right. All right, Itzel Paguaga Guadamuz.
Is here, main judge?
Okay. All right, ma'am, you are before the court this morning. Charge 1 is retail theft.
Señora, usted se encuentra ante mi persona esta mañana. La primera acusación es hurto en un local comercial.
And number 2 is contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
El segundo cargo es conspirar para o corrupción de menores en sentido delincuencial en el delito de hurto.
Now, the court finds probable cause.
Considero que existen indicios probables.
And state, does Ms. Guadamuz have any prior history?
Fiscalía, la señora Guadalmuz tiene algún historial.
No, Judge.
No, señora juez.
Okay.
Judge, she did give me the phone number of her boyfriend, her children's father. I intend on contacting him after court.
Señora juez, ella me dio el número de teléfono de su novio, que es el padre de sus hijos, y voy a contactarlo después de esta audiencia.
Judge, I would just ask for an order of no return to this Dillard's, please.
Señora juez, yo simplemente solicitaría que se le ordene no regresar a este local Dillard's.
All right, ma'am, so your bond is $1,000 and no return to Dillard's.
Bien, señora, su fianza queda fijada en $1,000 y se le prohíbe regresar a ese local de Dillard's.
Okay?
¿Está bien?
All right, is there anyone else who needs a Spanish interpreter?
Not here, main judge.
All right, thank you.
I think there was someone else.
Where?
I might be imagining
At the
things,
other
but
facilities, do we need a Spanish interpreter? Conti, Paul Ryan,
No one at Conti, Your Honor.
North Broward?
No problem, we're good, thank you.
oh, I guess I was imagining things, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, Rodney Vinson.
Yes, ma'am. He's here, Judge, me next morning.
All right, Mr. Vinson, you're here for, I thought Mr. Plant was here. He left? All right, this is an ad charge? Yes. Okay. All right, so there's nothing else holding him in custody, it's just this matter? All right, so Mr. Vincent, confinement has advised me that you were being released to First Step Sober House, and
Yes, ma'am.
that this is the only charge that's holding you in custody at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, do you wish to resolve the case today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so if you wish to resolve the case, then I'll sentence you to adjudication and time served.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, sir, then please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Okay, good.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can put your hand down. And Mr. Vincent, you understand the offer
Okay.
that I've extended to you
Ernst
today?
Charles.
Yes, ma'am.
Is anyone forcing you to resolve your case?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
He has a
No,
magistrate.
ma'am.
Do you need any more time to speak with an attorney?
No,
Yeah,
ma'am.
he already spoke to
So
Jim.
have you ever been treated for mental or emotional illness?
No, ma'am.
You understand you have the right to go to trial, but by taking a plea today, you are giving up that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And one last thing, sir, you understand that if you are not a U.S. citizen, that by taking a plea today, it could subject you to deportation or immigration changes.
Yes, ma'am.
What plea do you wish to enter, Mr. Vincent?
No contest, ma'am?
All right, sir, I accept your no contest plea. I find that it's freely and voluntarily given,
What'd I say?
and your
Two words.
sentence is adjudication and time served. And I'll tell you to make sure you take advantage of your time at First Step Silver House, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, good luck.
So I'm good to go now, right?
Unless,
All right, and now we have John Bailey, Mr. Plant.
Yes, Judge.
No problem, Your Honor. No problem.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Bailey, good morning. I understand that you were being released when this capias came up.
Yes, ma'am.
And so this is now the only thing that's holding you in custody, sir? And do you wish to resolve this case today?
Yes, I do.
All right, Mr. Bailey, then this is also a municipal ordinance violation. I will sentence you to adjudication and time served if you wish to accept that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
Okay, you can put your hand down. I can see that we are already making progress from the last time that you and I were in court together. So, do you understand the offer that has been extended to you?
Yes, I do.
Is anyone forcing you to resolve your case?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No, I'm not.
Do you need any more time to speak with your attorney?
No, ma'am.
And sir, you understand that you have the right to go to trial, but by taking a plea today, you are giving up that right?
Yes, I understand.
Have you ever been treated for mental or emotional illness?
No.
And do you understand, sir, that if you are not a U.S. citizen, that by taking a plea today, it could subject you to deportation or immigration changes?
Yes, I understand.
What plea do you wish to enter, Mr. Bailey?
No contest?
All right, I accept your no contest plea. I find that it's freely and voluntarily given. Your sentence, sir, is adjudication and time served. Good luck, sir.
Yes.
All right. And then Roy Miller.
Roy's approaching, Judge. He's here at me.
All right, Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're before the court for a trespassing charge today. What does Mr. Miller wish to do?
He wishes to resolve this matter today, Judge.
State, do you have an offer for Mr. Miller?
offered being an adjudication 3 days county jail. He's been through this division numerous times in the past, Your Honor. It's also based on the alleged conduct at the Embassy Suites.
All right. All right, Mr. Miller, what city is this? Fort Lauderdale? Is it Fort
Yes,
Lauderdale?
ma'am.
He wishes to accept the state's offer, Judge.
And I think I know where you might be going. If he wants that option, I'm fine with that. too.
Right, I was gonna say, has Mr. Miller been through community court before? Does he want to go to community court?
He
Your Honor,
wants
I
to
think
accept the
you're up-
state's offer, Judge.
If I could check, because I don't, do misdemeanors go there, or is it just municipal ordinance?
Oh, that's, well,
case.
it's just, no,
He can do it?
state cases can now go there. I
Okay,
got an
I just-
email yesterday about that. But what does he wanna do?
He wishes to accept the state's offer, Judge.
All right, so Mr. Miller, the sentence will be adjudication and 3 days in the Broward County Jail. Do you wish to accept that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what plea do you wish to enter?
Okay.
I accept your no contest plea, and your sentence is adjudication, 3 days in the Broward County Jail with credit for any time that you've already served, okay? Rocco Del Cioto,
North Broward.
Broward, Judge.
He wants to resolve, Judge.
okay?
Is that what you said? Mr. Meaty time.
Mr. Del Cioto, you're before the court. This is on a KPS on a municipal ordinance violation. You did not show up for arraignment back on May 13th of this year. Sir, what do you want to do today? You do have the option to go before your division judge tomorrow, or you can resolve the case today, or you can post your bond. Those are your options.
I would like to resolve it, Your Honor.
All right.
I was hospitalized quite a bit. I broke things.
Okay.
That's why.
All right, so I'll sentence you to adjudication and time served if you wish to resolve the case today.
Yes, ma'am, please.
All right, please raise your right hand. You swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Absolutely.
you can put your hand down. And, Mr. Del Cioto, do you understand the offer that I have extended to you today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is anyone forcing you to resolve your case?
No, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No, ma'am.
Do you need any more time to speak with your attorney?
No, ma'am.
And do you understand, sir, that you have the right to go to trial, but by taking a plea today, you are giving up that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you ever been treated for mental or emotional illness?
Yes, ma'am, in the past,
And is there anything about that treatment in the past that today would affect your decision-making?
not at all, Your Honor.
Okay, and do you understand, sir, that if you are not a U.S. citizen, that by taking a plea today could subject you to deportation or immigration changes?
Yes, sir.
What plea do you wish to enter, guilty or no contest?
No contest.
All right, I accept your no contest plea. I find that it's freely and voluntarily given. Your sentence, sir, is adjudication and time served, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Frank Miles,
He's here, President Judge Jermaine.
all right. Mr. Miles, you are before the court this morning. Charge one is a misdemeanor KPS. This is out of Judge Lerner Ren's division. And then on two, there's an out-of-county hold. It's a misdemeanor matter out of St. Lucie County. That is not for magistrate. This is out of the MI division with Judge Lerner Ren, and he,
Yeah, it is. And the capias, even though it is a 2013 case, it looks like the capias was issued.
the capias was
January
issued
this year.
January of this year. For not showing up at a status hearing. He does have court before Judge Lerner Ren tomorrow, so I'm going to leave the bond in place and he can see the judge tomorrow, okay?
Judge, Mr. Miles asked me to request the court. He said he realized he missed court this year, but usually his mother is the one that apprises him of his court dates. From what he advised me, she unfortunately did not do so at this time, so it wasn't local. He's asking if the court would consider our on count. So I told him I would make that request.
I'm going to deny that at this time, and like I said, he sees Judge Lerner Ren tomorrow, okay? Courtney Brown,
Mr. Brown, come on up, please.
all right, Mr. Brown, you are before the court on a traffic KPS, and this KPS was issued December 13th of last year. The charge was driving while license suspended. I find probable cause.
He wishes to resolve this matter today, Judge.
All right,
One moment, Judge.
sure.
Let's see. It's a while ago. Offered be a withhold court cost, Judge.
Okay,
He wishes to accept the state's offer, Judge.
all right, Mr. Brown, please raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir, you can put your hand down. Mr. Brown, do you understand the offer that has been extended to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is anyone forcing you to resolve your case?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No, ma'am.
Do you need any more time to speak with your attorney?
No, ma'am.
And sir, you understand you have the right to go to trial, but by taking a plea today, you are giving up that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever been treated for mental or emotional illness?
No, ma'am.
And do you understand, sir, that if you are not a U.S. citizen, that by taking a plea today could subject you to deportation or immigration changes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir, what plea do you wish to enter, guilty or no contest?
No contest.
I accept your no contest plea. I find that it's freely and voluntarily given. Your sentencers withhold adjudication and court costs, okay? And I'm giving them 6 months to pay the court costs, Madam Clerk, just so you. All right, John Schultz.
He's here, Main Judge.
Has one state case and two city cases. The city cases we could resolve.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Schultz, you have 4 misdemeanor cases, and 2 of them, is it 2? Or
I believe 3 state
3 are
cases.
state cases and 1 is a municipal ordinance violation matter. These are all cases. It looks like you did not show up for arraignment August 15th. then
days, right?
September 5, August 9th, and then this there's a petty theft. They're all petty thefts. Are these matters that Mr. Schultz can resolve here today?
It's possible, Your Honor, I'm just in the process of looking at a few things.
It's just that, Mr. Romero, they're all petty thefts, so,
I understand and I explained, Mr. Schultz, the possible ramifications as far as conviction goes, but he still wishes for me to ask if the state has a plea offer for him regarding these offenses.
okay.
Your Honor, if Mr. Schultz wants to resolve all 3 state cases, the offer would be an adjudication, 5 days, Broward County Jail, credit for time served, to run concurrently. He has thefts prior to this. He actually, the year before this offense, was convicted of a felony, petty theft.
Okay. This one?
He wishes to accept the state's offer, Judge.
Okay. All right, Mr. Schultz, please raise your right hand. Sir, you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir, you can put your hand down. Mr. Schultz, you understand the offer that has been extended to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is anyone forcing you to resolve your case?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No,
Do you need any more time to speak with your attorneys?
no, ma'am.
And sir, you understand that you have the right to go to trial, but by taking a plea today, you are giving up that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever been treated for mental or emotional illness?
No, ma'am.
And do you understand, sir, that if you are not a U.S. citizen, that by taking a plea today, it could subject you to deportation or immigration changes?
Yes, ma'am.
What plea do you wish to enter, Mr. Schultz?
No contest, ma'am.
All right, I accept your no contest plea. I find that it's freely and voluntarily given. Your sentence is adjudication, 5 days in the Broward County Jail, credit for any time served, okay? On all 4.
Thank you,
All
Judge.
4.
Good luck,
Thanks.
sir.
To run concurrent, okay? All right, Kendall Bolden.
North Broward.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Bolden is before the court this morning on a municipal ordinance matter. This is an indecent exposure case. I'm gonna tell you, based on the allegations, I'm not gonna resolve this case today.
Yes, Judge, I read the receipt.
So I'll leave the bond, and I don't know if there is any need for him to go to, I don't know if this is something he can go to Judge Lerner Wren.
Could you click on CCIS, Your Honor?
Yes, Judge.
As a friend of the court?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was he referred?
It's not, no, I haven't gotten that email yet, but I can tell you. No, I don't. There's been mental health issues in the past in other counties. I can tell him it's CCIS.
Okay. So
Judge.
I'll sign an order to transfer him to Judge Leonard's division, because I saw that in the PC this one. Okay? All right, good luck, Mr. Bolden. Sidney Farrow,
He's approaching Judge here at Maine, Munis Court.
all right, Mr. Farrow, you are before the court, sir, for a new municipal ordinance charge. And then 2 and 3 are misdemeanor cases on municipal ordinance matters that you failed to appear for your arraignment. April 26th of this year, and also on April 5th. So now you have 3 municipal ordinance matters before the court. I find probable cause. Sir, what do you want to do today?
No contest.
Well, let me also tell you, sir, that you do have the option of going to, this is the city of Fort Lauderdale, is that correct?
All three.
You do have the option of going to the community court. If you go to this court, there is a possibility that if you work through with the programs, that these charges could be dismissed if you're able to follow through with their directions and the programs that they have available for you there. So are you interested in doing that?
Okay, well, ma'am. Okay, well, I have a place. Okay, I used to be homeless on the street for 30 years on the street. Now I have a place down in Tampa Bay. Temple. I have a place. I have a place.
Okay, so.
I get disability.
All right, so then if you have a place, these allegations are that you were out on the streets yesterday, so if that's true.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, okay, ma'am. Okay, well, ma'am. I came back here August the 7th. I want to turn myself in because I know I had a warrant. On August the 7th, when I came here off the Greyhound bus station, that's when I came, and then I tried to talk to my friends to let them to know that I need to turn myself in, and because I didn't know where to turn myself in at.
Okay,
Because this is all something new for me to like to turn myself in. Because why? Because when I was living on the streets.
all right, Mr. Farrow, it's not making sense what you're telling me. And August 7th, if you got here August 7th.
Right.
Now, 5 days later, you're being arrested. Okay, so please stop talking, okay? My question to you is, my question that I need an answer, do you want to go to the community court? And it's not only housing that they provide, it's any other kind of services that you need. Do you want to go to the community court as a diversion program? Or do you want to resolve your case here?
I would like to resolve my case.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna sentence you to 5 days in the Broward County Jail if you wish to resolve your case.
Yes.
All right, then please raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. And Mr. Farrow, do you understand everything that we've discussed here today?
Yes.
Is anyone forcing you to resolve your case?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No, ma'am.
Do you need any more time to speak with your attorney?
No, ma'am.
And sir, you understand that you have the right to go to trial, but by taking a plea today, you are giving up that right.
Yes.
Have you ever been treated for mental or emotional illness?
No, ma'am.
And do you understand, sir, that if you're not a U.S. citizen, that by taking a plea today, it could subject you to deportation or immigration changes?
What I mean? Yes.
It just means that I need to tell you that if you're not a U.S. citizen, I need to tell you that if you're not a U.S. citizen, if you take a plea, it could subject you to deportation or immigration changes. So,
Yes.
all right. What plea do you wish to enter, guilty or no contest?
No contest.
All right, I accept your no contest plea. I find that is freely and voluntarily given. Your sentence is adjudication, 5 days in the Broward County Jail with credit for any time served.
All right, thank you.
Look, sir.
Okay, Reginald Rosier,
Mr. Rozier, he's approaching Judge here at Maine.
all right, Mr. Rosier, you're before the court on 5 misdemeanor cases. You did not show up for arraignment on August 1st of this year. And it looks like resisting without violence, petty theft, trespassing, petty theft. So those are the charges. And Mr. Rosier does have court tomorrow before his division judge.
Judge, and speaking Mr. Rozier, he wishes to see if the state has a plea offer for him today.
The documented offer from the assigned ASA, Your Honor, is adjudication time served on counts 1 and 2, adjudication 15 days Broward County Jail to run concurrently on counts 3 through 5. So the court's aware, well, I'll see if he wants to accept that.
Okay.
He wishes to accept the state's offer, Judge.
And, Your Honor, it would also include, I'm sorry, if this is acceptable to Mr. Rozier for this sentence, no return to this particular Dollar General on Federal Highway in Dania Beach.
Judge, from the conditions as far as no return, he has no problem with it. My understanding, and I just relate to Mr. Rozier, is a time served offer on 1 and 2, 15 days on counts 3, 4, and 5 with credit for all time served. If that's the state's offer, Mr. Rozier wishes to accept that.
And that is the state's offer.
Okay, sir, then please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay, sir, you can put your hand down. And sir, do you understand the offer that has been extended to you today?
Yes, I understand, ma'am.
Is anyone forcing you to resolve your case?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No, ma'am.
Sir, do you need any more time to speak with your attorney?
No, ma'am.
And sir, you understand that you do have the right to go to trial,
Judge, I believe he has one more question.
okay?
One moment. I don't believe he has any more questions.
All right. And sir, you understand that you have the right to go to trial, but by taking a plea today, you are giving up that right.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever been treated for mental or emotional illness?
No, ma'am.
And do you understand, sir, that if you're not a U.S. citizen, that by taking a plea today, it could subject you to deportation or immigration changes?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What plea do you wish to enter, sir?
No contest?
All right, I accept your no contest plea. I find that it's freely and voluntarily given. Your sentence as to charges 1 and 2 is adjudication and time served. As to charges 3 through 5, it's adjudication 15 days in the Broward County Jail, all to run concurrent with credit for any time served, and then no return to that particular Dollar General. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Jordan Cruzel.
He's approaching Judge me this morning.
All right, Mr. Cruzel, you are before the court on a municipal ordinance violation. This capias was issued March 21st. And, Mr. Cruzel, what do you wish to do today? I find probable cause.
What?
You could resolve your case if you like.
Yeah, we can solve that.
All right, Mr. Cruzel, your sentence will be adjudication and time served if you wish to resolve the case.
Yeah.
All right, please raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
Okay, sir, you can put your hand down. And do you understand the offer that has been extended to you?
Yes.
Is anyone forcing you to resolve your case?
No.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No.
Do you need any more time to speak with an attorney?
No.
All right, you understand, sir, that you have the right to go to trial, but by taking a plea today, you are giving up that right?
Yes.
Have you ever been treated for mental or emotional illness?
Yes.
Is there anything about that illness that today would prevent you from making an intelligent decision?
No.
And sir, do you understand that if you are not a U.S. citizen, that by taking a plea today, it could subject you to deportation or immigration changes?
Yeah.
What plea do you wish to enter, Mr. Cruzel? Guilty or no contest?
Guilty.
All right, I accept your guilty plea. I find that it's freely and voluntarily given. Your sentence, sir, is adjudication, time served. Good luck. All right, Johnny Burton. All right, Mr. Burton, you are before the court today because you have charge 1 is a petty theft, and then number 2 is a municipal ordinance violation. It's a KPS that was issued. I guess for failing to appear in court on, you didn't show up for your arraignment on January 7th, okay?
The address is messed up. That's why.
Just wait, sir. Wait for the offer.
Well, if the address is messed up, it becomes your responsibility to make sure that the address is corrected. No one can fix an address just out of the air. You have to let them know.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I don't know, this petty theft, was everything
No,
recovered?
It appears that it was 2 cartons of
2
cigarettes.
cartons of cigarettes.
And they ended up being sold on the street, so I don't have an offer this time because of the restitution issue, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so, Mr. Burton, we're not able to resolve the petty theft matter today because there may be an obligation on your part for restitution. And so, at this point in time, you do have court tomorrow before the other judge on the municipal ordinance matter. So we can leave that in place until you figure out what you're gonna do with the other case, okay? You do have a bond of $100 on each count.
See you in court, sir.
I thought she said I could resolve it today.
I said you are not able to resolve the petty theft because the 2 cartons of cigarettes that were allegedly stolen were sold on the street, and so you may be obligated to pay back restitution, which we cannot determine at this time. Okay? So we are not able to resolve that case today. All right, so you have a $200 bond.
Good luck, sir.
Mark Hughes,
$200.
Main judge.
He's here at Main Judge, he's approaching.
That's my last one.
okay.
Keep it. I'll look them up. It's okay.
All right, Mr. Hughes, you are before the court on a misdemeanor KPS. It's a municipal ordinance charge. You did not show up for arraignment on May 24th, and so that KPS was issued, and the judge issued a $100 bond on that KPS. So I find probable cause. What do you want to do today, sir?
I'd like to resolve it.
Okay. Is the offer also
Yes.
adjudication and time served?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is this also the city of Fort Lauderdale violation?
I'm not even sure what the violation is, actually.
All right,
except for
well,
sleeping in public.
that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
All right.
That's right, Judge.
So, Mr. Hughes, the city of Fort Lauderdale does have a community court that is available if you wish to participate in that. The program kind of runs, you have to go and sign up, and they have services that are available right there if you wish to sign up. And if you're able to go through their program, that they will dismiss the charge at the end of the program if you successfully complete it.
Right.
So do you wish to do that? Because that is an option that is available to you, since this is a city
I
for
don't-
a
I
Lauderdale
have no
case.
communication, so I don't know where to.
Well,
At
it
City
is,
Hall.
it is at City Hall, and all you have to do, they do have
Okay.
walk-ins. So on Wednesday morning, you can walk in there and tell them, I can sign an order that says that you were here and that you want to participate in the court. They'll have that order. You walk in and tell them what you have. And the judge, there's a judge over there, she'll see you. And then whatever services that can be available to you, that's there. It's right there if you want to take part in it. So do
That's
you,
right.
it's a
sorry.
city hall, Fort Lauderdale City Hall.
Would you like to do that, sir?
So do you want to do that?
I can. I don't know.
Well,
what am
I don't see any down point to you doing it. So I will ROR you, right?
Okay.
And then you have to show up on Wednesday
Okay.
at City Hall. They start at 9 o'clock. You just walk in and you tell them that you have a case and you want to participate in the community court program. So if you don't, so let me tell you, if you don't go, right, you're gonna be in front of whatever division judge this case is assigned to, and if you don't show up, then a warrant will be issued for your arrest and you'll be before the court, before me again. So I encourage you to take advantage of the services that are
And that's the
available.
city hall.
Yes, it is actually in the city hall, not next to it. You have to go into the city hall,
Okay.
okay?
All right.
Go
And
tomorrow.
that's the community court.
Community court.
All right.
All right, good luck.
Good luck, sir. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Christopher Hooper?
He's approaching Judge here, Ming. Come on up, sir.
All right, Mr. Hooper, you are before the court on a disorderly intoxication charge. I find probable cause.
Judge, we're just gonna be requesting a property order so he can self-bond.
All right, I'll sign that order.
Just ask for an order of no return.
Where is this?
It's the shopping plaza at 277 South Power Line Road in Deerfield.
Okay, so, sir, you heard that? You cannot return to that shopping plaza, okay?
Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
All right, it's Carlos Vega. Is Mr. Vega still on medical? All right, James Sentinel,
Conti, Your Honor.
okay? All right, Mr. Sentinel, this is an ad charge for an immigration hold. So there's now a detainer that's been placed on you, and you need to go before an immigration judge on this charge. It's a no bond hold, okay?
All right.
Dwayne Nixon,
Conti again, Your Honor.
Recall Mr. Nixon for a moment, Judge.
okay? All right, Mr. Nixon, we'll recall your case in a minute. Jonathan Handel,
Mr. Handel is here at Main, Judge approaching. Come on up, sir.
all right, Mr. Handel is before the court. Charge 1 is possession of drug paraphernalia. Number 2 is petty theft. I find probable cause.
Judge, in speaking to Mr. Handel, I did advise him what the standard bonds are. Unfortunately, he's not in a position to bond out. Now, he just started his own pressure washing business. Last month, though, business was really slow, staying off the ground. He only made $100 for the month. Now, he's been here his whole entire life. He's 36 years old. He lives in Hollywood with his parents. His parents, I believe he advised me they're not going to be able to afford to bond him out. So he's asking if the court would consider releasing him on pretrial release on these nonviolent offenses, Judge.
Showing he was arrested last year on a trespass. He was are awarded a pretrial, and Judge Diaz, on January 8th of this year, signed a warrant for his arrest for violating pretrial. He failed to call pretrial 2 times a week. All attempts to contact him had been unsuccessful, and at the time of the warrant, his current whereabouts were unknown by pretrial.
Okay. All right, based on these allegations, I am going to leave these bonds in place, okay?
You can recall Mr. Nixon at Conti, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Dwayne Nixon.
He's at Conti, Judge.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. so-
Your Honor,
Yes,
go ahead.
go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say that on counts 1 through 12, Mr. Nixon has a total bond of $9,525. Our office does represent him. Dale Miller is his ERU attorney, and Garrett Falkender will be his attorney if the case is filed. I'd ask the court to consider a $1,000 bond on 16, 17, and 18.
Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting a $5,000 bond on each burglary. Mr. Nixon well, first of all, he has no ties to the community. Shows his residence is in New Jersey. He appeared before the court early August of this year on 2 counts of theft, 6 counts of possession of stolen credit or debit cards, 3 counts of possession of forged driver's license or ID, 1 count of loitering and prowling. Your Honor, I can advise you that in that case, he was found in the stolen property he was found in possession of. The debit cards, IDs, were all stolen from as a result of car burglaries, and none of the listed victims in those matters are the same as the listed victim in this case.
Okay. All right, and so Mr. Nixon is before the court today on 13, 14, and 15. Those are all petty theft charges. And then 16, 17, and 18, those are burglary, unoccupied conveyance, unarmed. And I believe that these additional charges are as a result of items that were found at the time of his previous arrest. So, and he has what, a total of already $9,000?
Yeah, $9,525.
And how long ago was that he was arrested?
August 1st.
August 1st, okay. All right, so I will leave the bonds in place on 13, 14, and 15, and then 16, 17, and 18, I'll impose a $1,000 bond on those
Thank you, Judge.
each. All right, Richard Bums,
Medical reset, Judge.
okay. Christopher Smith,
Mr. Smith is here at Main, Judge approaching. Come on up, Mr. Smith.
all right, Mr. Smith is before the court today, 1 charge of intimidation, writing, sending threat to kill or injure, and I find probable cause. Does Mr. Smith have any prior criminal history?
Your Honor, he has no history. That being said, I'm going to be requesting a $25,000 bond, no victim contact, pretrial release with a GPS monitor. Your Honor, I would note the threats he made, written or threats that were made either written or through electronic means. There's been some thought put into this based on the allegation that he prepared that he sent the victims a picture of an in-loving memory card with his mother's name written on it. Also noting that his estranged wife advised law enforcement that he had specifically mentioned in her last phone conversation that he was going to go to his parents' home and kill them. Your Honor, if I didn't mention before, I'd also be asking for a GPS monitor. I think that is necessary and appropriate, seeing how his parents live out of county. He lives in Broward. That way, law enforcement would be aware if he tried to leave the Tri-County area. Obviously, would be asking for no victim contact.
Okay.
Judge, as far as the monetary bond, I went over with Mr. Smith, under circumstances, considering his financial resources, that is reasonable. The only thing we're gonna be asking for is as far as, the state's request in reference to a level 2 monitor. My understanding, Judge, as the state did say, this is his first time with the criminal justice system. He has very strong ties to the community, been here for about 22 years, he's 38 years old. He's a registered voter. He's self-employed. He's a real estate broker, which requires him to travel extensively. My understanding, Judge, he lives here locally in Pompano Beach. I'm going to be asking also a phone order so he can access his phone contacts to try and contact his friends to see if they can post his monetary bond. But we're asking, considering his strong ties, he's looking forward to having his day in court disputing these allegations. But he's wanting the court not to impose a level 2 with the monitor. If anything, Judge, he would be open to maybe standard, but not level 2, Judge. Is it false?
All right, well, these allegations are extremely alarming. With the text messages to his parents, dead cunts deserve to die. You will be full mounted. You're gonna watch your wife first like the coward you are. You and the system can meet the maker. With those kinds of allegations before the court this morning, it's quite alarming. I am going to impose a $50,000 bond on count 1, and if Mr. Smith is able to post his bond, he will be on a level 2 pretrial. No victim contact, and that means no phone calls, no text messages, no social media, no third-party contact.
And Your Honor,
Yes.
I apologize. I should have asked before. I would be requesting no possession of firearms, weapons, or
Right.
ammunition.
And no possession of any weapons or firearms. Okay, Gregory Roundtree,
We're going to need a phone order. in order
I'll
to
sign
search
that
them.
order.
Thank you.
Doing it right now, Mr. Romero.
No problem, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Roundtree's before the court this morning for destroying or damaging or altering the electronic monitoring equipment. And 2 through 7 are violation of pretrial on felony charges. Those are all no bond holds and not for magistrate. I find probable cause. And does anyone wish to be heard as the bond on 1?
No, Judge.
All right, and so, Mr. Roundtree has a $1,000 bond on, 1, okay?
Nothing in light of the no bond holds, Judge.
All right. Ernst Charles,
Morning, Your Honor.
good morning, Mr. Charles. You are before the court this morning. Charge 1 is resisting officer without violence, number 2 is resisting officer with violence, and number 3 is a traffic infraction that's not for magistrate. And I find probable cause. Does Mr. Charles have any priors?
I'm just checking the status of a case. Yeah. Your Honor, Mr. Charles has a pending case in front of Judge Porth in Mental Health Court. I imagine this case is going to follow that case into that division.
Okay,
Based on that, I'd be requesting a $500 bond.
500?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Mr. Charles, for the record, is represented by Jim Lewis. I spoke with Mr. Charles and Mr. Lewis's office this morning.
okay,
They're happy with the $500 bond.
okay, so he has a $500 bond.
All right, Mr. Charles?
Thank you.
All
Okay, good
right.
luck.
Michael Allison,
He's here at main, Judge. Approach you. Come on up, sir.
Obviously.
All right, Mr. Ellison, you're before the court on carrying a concealed firearm charge, and I find probable cause.
Judge, we're just gonna be requesting a phone order.
Okay? I'll sign that phone order, and he has a bond of $1,000, and no weapons or firearms until any other order by the court. Okay? And Antonio Harden.
It's a medical reset, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Harden is a medical reset.
Okay.
All right. I believe that's the end of our morning docket. It was a short one. So I'll see everyone this afternoon at 1 p.m. Okay?